Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Charles, and welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and when we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. The Lakers are the talk of the town, right? The Lakers are the talk of the town, and they're losing, and the sky is falling. Stephen A. Smith said the season may be over by, by Thanksgiving, which is basically a month from now. You know, Kendrick Perkins, I think, is talking about the Rob Pelinka. Everybody's tired of it. Shannon Sharp just today said he doesn't understand how Rob Pelinka got a contract extension, given the fact that this team hasn't really improved their shooting. He said he must have a tape on somebody. That's the reason he got his job. So everyone is just piling on the Lakers. The sky is falling. It's over. It's over. It's over. It's over. It's over. Now, Laker legend Shaquille O'Neal finally had an opportunity to chime in on this entire discussion when on what show was he on the big podcast, right? That's the show that Shaq is on. I think he co-hosts it with some people from Entertainment Tonight from ET, and they're usually on there. They were actually doing some episodes even before the season started. Good. So yesterday they were discussing a bunch of things. They were talking about Joel Embiid. I think they started off that show talking about Joel Embiid, but then ultimately, and of course, the conversation came to the point where they had to ask him about the Los Angeles Lakers. So Shaq was asked to talk about the Lakers, man. And the answer that he gave was just totally unbelievable. So for those of you who missed this candid answer that Shaq had to give as it pertains to this Lakers and this current roster this season, take a listen to what Shaq had to say here. And then we're going to come back and react to it. Take a listen to what Shaq had to say here.
Mm-hmm. The Lakers that night missed 30 out of 40 3-point attempts.
They're like a community where I live. They have no shooters.
Oh.
They are gated community gangsters. They have no shooters in their community. They have no shooters.
Community gangsters.
They have no shooters. I can leave my door open. I can walk around in my underwear.
That is a great analogy, actually.
He said they're gated community gangsters.
Yeah, when they get outside the gates, they talk hard. But inside the gate, they ain't got no shooters.
They just stopping people for driving too fast, right?
Yeah.
Just flagging them down for traffic.
That is spot on.
They ain't got no guns. With the flashlight cops, I see you at the 3-point line.
So you heard what Shaq had to say. Right. Now, here are my thoughts on this. I think that if the Lakers continue to lose ball games this season, you should expect more of this. If the Lakers don't find a way to start winning some games, people like Shaq, people like Charles Barkley, people like Skip Bayless and others are going to start to roast this team. That's just what's going to happen. Shaq is being 100% honest, but I think also some of his comments have to do with the fact that this is still the cupcake era, right? The way he answered that question kind of lets you know that Shaq wasn't really feeling this. It wasn't really feeling this particular roster. Here's my thoughts on the Lakers overall. As I said, and I've been saying, yes, the Lakers will start the season 0-3. But if we're being honest, I think the best case scenario for this Laker team, at least starting this season, was to go 2-1. Who really thought that the Lakers were going to beat the Golden State Warriors on opening night? Who thought that? Seriously, who really thought that? Who thought that the Lakers were going to beat the Clippers on the second game that they played? I didn't think that. I thought the real shot that they really had to win was against the Portland Trailblazers. And if you watched that game yesterday, had it not been for bad shot selection and Damian Lillard's heroics, they would have won that game. So really, that's the game they were supposed to win. And it even shows in the box score. They only lost the game by 2 points. It's not like as if they got blown out in that game the way they got blown out by the Golden State Warriors, right? So that's the first thing. Now, if we look at this team's schedule moving forward, we got to be realistic about the expectations, right? The Lakers, the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If we're looking at the schedule and we're just being honest with ourselves, I think that there's a realistic possibility that the Lakers could start this season with what? Let me see. They've already lost. Let's say they play 3, so they can lose this one. They could lose the game against the Nuggets. They could lose the game against the Wolves. They could lose the game against the Nuggets. So they would be what 6? No. They would be, wait, how many losses? 1, 2, 5. 5-1. Then they could probably get that game against the Pelicans. So they should be what? 5-2. The Jazz, they could probably get that. It should be 5-3. The Cavaliers, they'll probably lose that. They'll probably be what? 6-3. And the Jazz, so the Lakers could probably start off the season either 6-4 or a 5-5 record with a 500 record, probably. Like, I don't understand what other expectation you would have. Do you really think that they're going to go out there and start beating the Nuggets? No. Do you think they're going to start beating the Timberwolves? No. I think everyone needs to have a realistic expectation of this team. Number one. Number two, and it's something that a lot of people are not talking about, we also got to look at the scheduling. Last season, when the Lakers started off their season, I think 15 out of their first 20 games, if I'm not mistaken, or 15 out of their first 21 games were games at home. 15. Now this season, the Lakers are playing some games at home, but they're playing some pretty tough teams, right? So they got to fight their way through this. Now, I think probably at the end of their first 10 games, they should either be 500 or probably one game below 500. So, Shaq making fun of them, yeah, he's going to make fun of them, but that's what you should realistically expect. I don't see this team going out there and all of a sudden becoming world beaters and beating all of these guys. I don't see that happening. I ultimately think that this team is probably going to end up making a move. They're going to need to make a move. They're probably going to trade Russell Westbrook. I've been reading a lot of comments that people have been leaving in the comment section. A lot of people have been talking about get rid of those 2 picks, get rid of those 2 picks, get rid of those 2 picks. Even if they get rid of them and they trade for another player, does that put them over the top? I don't really think so. I still think this team has an opportunity at the very least, to at least make the playoffs. I believe that. But I don't really see them out there making it to the second round or the third round. I don't see any of that unless you're hyper, optimistic about this team, which I'm not. But what Shaq said, you should expect more of that this season. People are going to continue making fun of them. You already heard what Charles Barkley had to say on opening night. Expect more of that. Until they find a way to win, people will keep making fun of them. So what I want to know from you guys, what do you think about what Shaq had to say? What do you think about what I had to say? Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section, and we catch you all on the next one.